Right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Iqwan bin Rosli, number metric 1201051. So today, I would like to explain about the assignment 1, which is evaluation of built environment of my house. So this assignment was conducted by Dr. Nurushala Abdul Latif in subject of Quran Sunnah and built environment. So for the first one, this, as you can see on the slide, there is a site plan of my house. So my house is located in Sungai Limau, Kampung Sungai Limau, Sungai Besar, Selangor. And my house is at the blue dot in the red circle. So this is my ground floor plan. Okay. So let's go to the relationship between man and the creator. Basically, they have 5 principles below this relationship, and we will go one by one. For the first principle, which is respect for knowledge and conscious of the creator, in my house, there are 2 areas that a bit to this principle, which is prayer area and the bookshelf. So for the prayer area, we use this area to worship Allah and do religious session such as reading Quran and Idul Fitri prayer. As Allah said in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 149, where we need to perform prayer wherever we are as long as facing the Qibla. So we as a Muslim need to prepare a special place to worship Allah in our house. For the bookshelf, there are a lot of references we can find in this bookshelf, especially for entertainment and education purposes. There are also some books that we can refer if we want to know about the religion of Islam, basically about the fiqh and the others thing about Islam. So for the next principles, this is justice. To show these principles, there are 3 bedrooms for parents, daughters, and sons. So we will not have any argument when it comes to place for sleep. We also can have our own privacy where we can do our own work separately, especially for sons and daughters. As Allah said in Quran, Surah An-Nahl, verse 19, where we need to be justice, especially for our family or relatives. The next one is compassion or mercy. So the bedroom for parents are close to the shower and toilet, so easy for them to reach there. Then there are air conditioning for every room in order to have comfort while sleeping. There is also a lobby where we can welcome the guests who coming to our house. This principle follow what Allah said in Quran, Surah Ar-Rum, verse 21, where in family which you and yourself makes must have a mercy or compassion. So it is not illegal to give comfort or facilities to our family in our own house. The next one is trustworthy and credibility. So these principles is not followed based from my house because the washroom and the toilet was not really in a good position because it's horizontally from visitors' eye view when they step into my house. So the visitor from lobby area can easily see what's going on after we come out from the shower. Then the bedroom will excluded from visitor in lobby area, so they will not see the movement in and out to the room, especially for daughters. Next one is unity. So dining room and living room are in one area. We will have continuously conversation even after breakfast, lunch or dinner. We also can eat while watching television and relaxing in that area. As Allah said in Surah Ali Imran, verse 103, where He wanted us to be unity and not become divided. That shows the strength of the relationship in Islam. So we go to the next relationship between man and environment. So essentially, there are three principles below this relationship. For the first principle, which is cleanliness and beauty. So my house is not follow this principle because there is a garbage dump in the back of the house. Usually, the garbage will be burned after we throw it there. So because there's no garbage disposal service in my house area, so we need an area where we can dispose the garbage. But this is in stark contrast to Islamic demands to make sure the environment clean and beauty. As Allah said in Surah Baqarah, verse 222, where Allah loves cleanliness, who purify themselves. Next principle is preservation of the environment and sustainable natural resources. So there's mini garden where people can relax their mind in front of my house, and my mom usually planting a lot of flowers there. My house has a less attractive view as it is located on the side of the road. So to add aesthetic value in the house, my mother planted various types of flowers in the yard, and the place is called a mini garden. We as a Muslim need to preserve nature as it is our responsibility as Khalifah in this world. Allah states the prohibition of damaging the environment and its punishment clearly in Surah Rum verse 41. Okay. So the last principle of this relationship is economic and effective use of resources. My house is not follow this principle because there are a lot of electrical devices that can lead to waste of energy. For example, we have 7 ceiling fans for every area and also air conditioning for each room. We can obviously save the energy if we make it less for electrical devices in my house. So, without furthermore, we go through the relationship between man and man. There are 6 principles below the relationship. The first one is respecting privacy and division of space. So, for this principle, the room for children divided equally, one for daughters and one for sons. This will avoid any argument or quarrel between siblings. We also can have our own privacy. Our Prophet Muhammad emphasizes this matter so much that it was mentioned in his hadith. So, our Prophet Muhammad asked us to divide the room of son and daughter equally. Okay. For the next one is the value of encouraging interaction and acquaintance. So there is a mini garden where people can sit together to have a chit chat. There also a veranda and lobby for guests too. So if any neighbors or visitors come to my house, they will sit there and we will have a cup of tea. So there's some vibe of welcoming them. So we as a Muslim need to respect our neighbors and the guests present because that is one of the demands in Islam. Allah also mentioned this matter in Surah Nisa verse 36. The next one is peace and security. So, parents' room is close to kitchen. If there is a fire, my parent find it difficult to escape. But there is another exit door in the kitchen so people can escape from that area if any of accident happen. Allah said in Surah Baqarah verse 15 where we cannot put ourselves in dangers purposely. So we need to find a way to avoid from any dangers. Then we move to the next principle, which is respecting the right of the individual. This house was built on land owned by us, and if my father wants to renovate our house, such as adding a car parking, he will make sure that he do not build it on others' land. Allah has mentioned about this matter in Surah Baqarah, verse 188, and said, "Do not consume one another's wealth unjustly or send it in bribery to the rules in order that they might aid you to consume a portion of the wealth of the people in sin while you know." Okay, for this principle, cooperation, sensitivity, and mutual respect, I think there is nothing that I can relate about this principle in my house. In other words, my house doesn't conform to this principle in any space of it or the arrangement of the space and everything connected with that principle. So we go for the last principle in man-to-man relationship, which is consultation. There's one part of this house that undergo the consultation between my family and I, which is parking lot for car. Actually, there's no parking lot before we did the renovation. At first, I suggest to build a space for me and my siblings so we can play badminton there. But after have a short discussion, my father reject the idea because it's easy for us if our relatives come to park the car there. Plus, we have a lot of relatives come over my house, especially during Hari Raya. So for the conclusion, I made this schedule to show the checklist for every principles of the relationship. So for the relationship of man to creator, 4 of these principles are connected with man to creator, but one is not. For man to environment, there is only one principle that connected with man to environment. And for the last relationship, there are 5 principles that connected with man to man. The rest are not a bit to the relationship. So for the conclusion, my house is not fully obeyed to all principles in Surah Al-Fatiha because there are lacking of some points for each aspect such as Rububiyah, law, Mulkiyah, economy, defense, politic, and Ubudiyah, social. There's a lot of things that my house need to consider in order to achieve a great building that follow the rules and demands in Quran. As we know, our house is our own paradise. But if it's not follow the right path that leads us to Islam, there's no meaning of that house. We as a Muslim must strive to complete all those principles to be happy in our own house based on accomplishment. I think that's all for me for this presentation. Thank you.